All right, welcome everybody and welcome to the Utilmate new dashboard lineup revealed webinar. Time to get started. We'll have a couple of minutes for Q&A at the end, so if you'd like to use the chat feature available in this webinar, you can fire us some questions and that sort of thing, and always provide some feedback afterwards through our support channel. The purpose of this session is to take a look at our new dashboard that is going to be released to your environments this Thursday and how that works. So first what we're going to do is just log in. There we go. You should right now you should see the login screen for Utilmate. So what we're going to do here is just log in. So you would log in as you normally do. What you'll see that's new in Utilmate is you're going to have a new option on the dashboard screen called Try the New Dashboard. So the old dashboard remains available, no changes there, but if you would like to try the new dashboard, then you're welcome to. And you do this simply by clicking on Try the New Dashboard. So the new dashboard contains all the same processes and actions that the old one did. There's nothing that's disappeared or gone. All right, but you will notice it looks a little bit different and modern. So the key bits you'll notice along the top is we have these processes. So these are the same as the old dashboard. I can click on each of these and drill into them just like I could with the old one. Some of the new features that are available in these, you can still click things, you can still shift click things and control click things like you used to be able to multi-select. The buttons are still available. Some of the new features you'll notice is we still have the export to Excel option. We now have a print feature, so this is a new feature. The old ones you couldn't print any of these screens, and based on user feedback it's something that people were after to be able to do. All the buttons are still there. You'll notice they are a little bit different in their coloration. The reason for that is we had feedback that it was sometimes a little bit confusing between important buttons like send an email or do not send an email, and we want to be clear which one that we wanted to do. So we've made the send or approve buttons all red and the do not send buttons or don't do it buttons grey. So you can now see some coloration to make it clear as to which ones you need to which ones you want to select. All the hyperlinks work as they previously did, so you can still drill into and see customers from the screen. So the next bit here you'll notice is these two widgets. So if I start on the left with the activities one, so this is your overdue activities that are either assigned to yourself or your department. You can click on the details button, which takes you through to the old or existing activities screen if you want to go into the detail for these activities. But otherwise I can cycle through these. I've only got 9 in my list here and see all the activities assigned to me as a user or my department. The next bit that's had a bit of improvement is our run scheduled tasks. So we've pulled this out into a widget as well. So for any of these items, I can click them. It's only a single click on the screen and I can run that item. Once you're running a scheduled task, you've got this option here to refresh. So as things run, you can refresh this widget here and see the statuses move through as it completes. The next features that are available in here, if I go onto my transaction one here, for example, I can go and see the details behind a scheduled task. So this is a new feature where you can actually see the steps involved in a scheduled task. The other new feature available here is this thing called logs. So I can go and see the logs, and this is particularly useful for if you have an error or a problem in running your scheduled tasks. You can see the logs as to exactly what went on. All right, so that's your scheduled task screen. The upload feature is still available, so a lot of you use the button here to upload files, so that works in exactly the same way, where you can upload various CSV files into the system. So that's exactly the same as previous. The next bit on the screen here is you'll notice some graphs. So these are key business performance metrics related to your business and how they're doing. So the 3 we've chosen to display up front is a total age debtor balance. So this is your totals per building. So these are all demonstration buildings along the bottom here, but you can see in the different buckets, I've got my 0 to 30, 30 to 60, 60 to 90, etc. So I can see my ATB totals for any building and if it's getting out of hand in any one building. So that's the first one we've chosen to display. The next one we've chosen is recent and upcoming treatments. So firstly, there's nothing in this graph here due to the demo data, but you'll have your recent treatments, and this is reminder notices, disconnection notices, etc. So these are your recent treatments that you have been printed and sent, and that's important because obviously they often generate calls and activity for your call center. So the recent ones you'll be able to see, so you can see, look, this is what's gone out recently, and you can also get a forecast for what's coming up in the next little bit. So we've chosen to show 30 days back and forward here, so you can see what's coming up and what's just been done. The next one we have chosen here is our vacant and occupied sites. So again, an important metric for any business is understanding and keeping an eye on your vacant and occupied sites in the system. So this again per building gives you an idea of how many vacant and occupied sites are in the system. So these are just the three metrics we have chosen to do out of the box. In stage one, we are fully intending to add more metrics to this dashboard. We just need a little bit of feedback and input from our valuable clients as to what is useful and what isn't. So this is what we've chosen to go with out of the box. The next bit that is quite important and new here is something called security groups. So at the moment in the system, everyone has the same levels of security. So, and that is the administrator. So everyone has access to all the reports, everyone has access to all the screens, and everyone has access to all the dashboard items. What we've introduced in this release in our users maintenance screen is something called security groups. So here we've got a bunch of users, and you guys should be familiar with the screen, but what we've added in is these security groups. So if I click on edit, it'll be helpful to explain these. The first security group is read-only, and as the name suggests, it gives the person read-only access to the system. They have no ability to update customer data, no ability to run reports, no ability to do any admin changes, etc. It is purely that, a read-only login. The next one here is your standard security group, so that gives read-write permissions to customer data, but again, no access to run reports, do any admin activities. The next one here is your reporting, and as the name suggests, that would give you access to the reporting menu in the system, so to run any of the reports available. The next two here control the dashboard, so the manager security group gives you access to some of the management dashboard items, such as charge and adjustment approval, billing exceptions, running scheduled tasks, things like that. The next one being your billing security, which gives you access to some of the other dashboard items. We have a help desk knowledge base article around this to fully explain these groups. And the last one is administrator, which as the name suggests, gives you access to everything, including all your maintenance activities, maintenance items. So if I was to log in as a customer here or as a user, so Jordan has read-only access only. So when I log into the system here, okay, the first thing you see is all these reports. I can't run any of them. They have little lock symbols. I can't do anything here. The next one, all my maintenance tables. I'm trying to click on these. They're all locked. I can't run any of those. The next bit here, if I go and try the new dashboard, right, so I have no permissions. I can't actually go and click on any of these items. I can't do anything in this dashboard. And if I go and search for a customer, you'll notice the screens are all read-only. So I can't, this customer here I can't do any actions to any of these screens. I can't action the buttons or anything like that. Okay, so that's logging in as a person there. Okay, the other thing to note is every time you log in and out, you are going back to the original dashboard. When I go try the new dashboard, that will last in place as long as I'm logged in. So if I go to a customer at this point or off to another screen, and then I return to my dashboard, I'm going to return to the new dashboard. So every time I navigate back, it's to the new dashboard. If I want to revert to the old one, I'm going to log out, log in, and that will take me back to the original dashboard. We have a bunch of help documentation. So in our knowledge base, we have, if you type in dashboard, understanding the dashboard, we have a bunch of articles around the dashboard. We have a bunch of articles around security groups. So they will be available for you to review and help you out with anything you have trouble with there. All right. Now, okay. So that's all we had to go through in this session. So as I said before, if you'd like to fire any questions through right now, please do so in the chat. We're happy to answer any questions, or I'm happy to answer any questions. Also, beyond this, if you have questions or feedback, then of course through our support channel, please fire through any feedback or questions around this as you're using it. The aim is to have this probably running in parallel for around a month. So we'll keep the old dashboard and the new one available for a month, and then once everyone's happy with it, once everyone's familiar with it, comfortable with it, we'll be turning the old dashboard off and the new one will be the way we're going forward. But there'll probably be a month or so period where you've got to try the new dashboard feature. So that's all I have to go through. Are there any questions from anyone on the webinar? I've got one question here, I think, from someone asking about the charts, about whether we can have more than 3. And yes, the answer is yeah, we can have 3, 6, 9, whatever. We just need some feedback as to what's most important to your business, what metrics you'd like shown, really. So yeah, we're just awaiting a bit of feedback there before we put further charts into the dashboard. Okay, and one other thing, it's a good point from one of the guys here, is so at the moment, everyone in the system is standard and administrator. So by default, when this change is released, and that will be done this Thursday, when the change is released, you'll all have the same permissions you do today. Nothing will be different, really. What you'll need to do is if there are certain users or people in your business where you want to restrict access, you'll need to go into that user screen I just showed you and take away some of those security groups from those people. So that's how you will restrict access to those people. But as I say, by default, everyone is administrator and standard, so you'll get full access to everything. Great. Oh, well, if there's nothing else, thank you for your time. This session has been recorded and Tracy will be sending a link out to everyone on this call and also those that couldn't make it today, so you can refer back to it in the future. Thank you very much for your time.